Hello once again, this is Skvader with week 12 of Midori Minitours. The theme for this week is vintage anime, which I defined as 1990 or earlier. Kind of an arbitrary cutoff point maybe, but I did have to draw a line somewhere. And just for clarification's sake, when I talk about the debut of these series, I will be referring to the year the anime premiered, not the year the manga started. Simply because a few of these just don't have manga to go with them. But let's get started. The very first is from 1963, Astro Boy, one of the most iconic characters out there, with two other anime series, a CGI movie, and another upcoming series. Not the oldest anime or even the oldest produced for television, but certainly one of the oldest surviving as an iconic character, and we probably wouldn't be where we are today without Astro, or Tetsuo and Adam. Next up is 1984, Little Memole, or Memole of the Pointed Hat. It did get a US dub as a compilation movie, stitched together from several episodes. Just another cute, fun, a little bit of a David the Gnome flair if you can't tell, but just a really interesting one that a lot of people will remember from its compilation movie. I definitely recommend checking out the full series. Up next, from 1979, is one of our earlier Magical Girl series, Hana no Ko Lunlun, Flower Child Lunlun. It did also get a US dub as, I think, Flower Angel Lulu. That is one of our early Magical Girl demographic before the Magical Girl Warrior really started. It's a issue of the week anime where Lunlun goes around helping people with the abilities that she gets from her flower brooch. But definitely a fun one and really worth checking out. It's one of the more obscure ones I've tackled this week, but still really good, really fun. Next up, I had to decide on one Miyazaki. Ended up settling on Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which you probably all know and have seen. Pre-Ghibli Miyazaki project, though it's usually marketed as a Studio Ghibli film these days. But pretty much everyone who worked on it went on to become part of the founding team over at Ghibli, so fair's fair. That is also 1984. And then next, premiering in 1986, Dragon Ball, which started as a Sayuki parody. Bulma and Goku just going on an adventure together, which instead of looking for the sacred texts or transporting the sacred texts, they are looking for the 7 Dragon Balls to create a wish. And then of course we moved beyond the Sayuki influence and got way out of hand with the Dragon Ball Z and so forth that we know today. The next, from 1971, Lupin III. Another one still ongoing with new material today. I believe the most recent was Lupin III Zero, which is a prequel about how Lupin and Jigen met as young teenagers. One of the more iconic Thief series. Thief is also pretty common in the Magical Girl genre, of course, but this was a little different. Although my favorite thing about Lupin is the design. It doesn't matter how abstract you get with him, as soon as you put that smirk in, 98% of the human population will be like, oh yes, Lupin. And then the final one from 1988, Ronin Warriors, or Ryoroiden Samurai Troopers. One of my longest standing fandoms, just a great ensemble cast, and really fun take on the Sentai genre. Definitely one that I recommend if you haven't seen it before. Just a really great cast of memorable characters and a fun story, sort of a Saint Seiya but Sengoku flavored instead of Greek myth. And that is it for this week. The music, of course, is an instrumental version of the 1963 Astro Boy theme. And next week's theme is going to be Sailor Moon. So see you next week.